What is the mystery behind the civilization of Göbekli Tepe? Turkey's spectacular Göbekli Tepe, which is 6,000 years older than Stonehenge, challenges the accepted theory of the development of civilization. Göbekli Tepe is the world's oldest example of monumental construction, a temple built at the end of the last ice age nearly 12,000 years ago. It was discovered in 1995 CE, just a short distance from the city of Urfa located in southeast Turkey, when a Kurdish shepherd observed a number of big, embedded stones. Stones that had definitely been handled, and which turned out to be the most remarkable discovery. Anatolia is often referred to as a melting pot of civilizations and cultures, a bridge between Asia and Europe, which is a fusion of East and West. And many more cliched, overused, and yet accurate phrases that are now quite pedestrian. There is no denying that Anatolia has the unsettling propensity to produce lost civilizations and vanished cultures. It is unsettling for two reasons. In the modern era, we have covered so much ground, both physically and intellectually, that we believe we should know everything by now. And it is unsettling because, intrinsically, an entire civilization is a difficult thing to lose, particularly in a place that is said to be a bridge and has been tramped across by so many people since the dawn of civilization itself. But Anatolia continues to do it. The story of Schliemann's discovery of Troy in 1870-71 CE had the advantage of being very well known in Western culture and the Western literary canon. And its discovery was a revelation and a source of immense popular amazement and excitement. The discovery and excavation of Göbekli was another revelatory event, but one that was less well publicized. After all, the Hittites were minor characters in a biblical story, a footnote at best. Academics and scholars, on the other hand, were aware that there was a substantial missing component to ancient Near Eastern history, a void only hinted at by tantalizing findings made in the late 19th century CE. The discovery as well as excavation of the Hittite capital, hidden in the central Anatolian mountain vastness, during the late 19th and early 20th centuries filled in a huge gap. This was further reduced by the translation of the Hittite language by the Czech linguist Hrozny in 1915 CE. And the wealth of documentary evidence discovered during some excavations at the Royal Library in Hattusa, and that could now be read. The finding of Göbekli Tepe, on the other hand, was a complete surprise. And what has evolved since that day in 1995 CE is clearly nothing short of extraordinary. A site of enormous size with first circular enclosures and subsequently rectangular rooms dominated by amazing carved and sculpted monoliths. Over 25 of these enclosures have been identified so far, and 2 of the earlier ones have now been entirely excavated down to floor level, showing an unknown and unimagined civilization that has thrown the archaeological world on its head. The oldest aspect of this website is how old it is. The location is known as Gobekli Tepe and dates back to the end of the last ice age and its first construction around 10,000 BCE. The monument was built in the distant past, a period in which it plainly shouldn't have existed, according to the accepted historical account. This is enormously impressive, exceptionally well-preserved architecture that is silent. Even though we can use all of the scientific instruments at our disposal to analyze the site's physical characteristics and describe it in minute detail, we are only able to hypothesize about the goals behind its construction or the culture of its inhabitants. And within this mysterious and unsettling realm, there lies yet another mystery. After being in use for centuries, the large enclosures were simply buried. After a period of use as a gathering place and a place of ritual that may have lasted for 2,500 years, the location was simply abandoned. Smaller, more humble structures were built on the mound that was created by the burial of the original monuments. The massive, T-shaped stones of Göbekli Tepe, which are frequently grouped in a circle, are its distinguishing feature. These anthropomorphic T-shaped monoliths have been discovered in a number of locations in southeast Turkey since the early 1990s CE. They have also been discovered in the city's center and in other areas of the Şanlıurfa district. It appears that some of the T-shaped stones that are embedded within the stone-walled rings are obviously representations of human figures. Some of them have limbs, clothing, and ornamentation, but, importantly, none of them have faces. Many hypotheses concerning the origins of Göbekli Tepe and its builders have been given by non-academic and alternative writers of popular publications, most of which are understandably focused with the spectacular and exceedingly photogenic remains on level 3. They vary from an ancient civilization of incredible intricacy to vaguely biblical analogies to the stars. In terms of astronomical alignments, the archaeological team will not rule this out. Still, it will gently point out that there is no concrete evidence of alignment with any star or constellation. The name, Göbekli Tepe, or Hill of the Navel, may be a faint cultural echo from those distant ages. It is undeniable that many Neolithic tribes were distinguished by a symbolic link to the earth via a magical navel or umbilical cord. Even today, this is a revered and respected spot, as seen by the ornamented wishing tree at the mound's summit.